Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second day of India Boat and Marine Show 2021. We are pleased to invite you to the Dostas Dims Light 2021, a webinar on pleasure crafts for waterfront tourism, passenger and goods transportation along waterways, and emerging trends in designs and market. Dostas is the short form of Department of Ship Technology Alumni Society. This society was formed on 10th June 2017. The objective of Dostas is primarily to promote cordial relations among its members as well as the alma mater and support the Department of Ship Technology for the Cochin University of Science and Technology in furthering the practice of naval architecture and to push the frontiers of this subject to reveal new possibilities. DIMS is the acronym for Dostas International Maritime Seminar. This is a biennial event. The first DIMS was conducted in 2018. The DIMS that was due in 2020 is being conducted today. DIMS Light 2021, the theme is Tourism and Pleasure Craft and Transportation Industry and examines the status of the small marine crafts industry with particular emphasis on design, construction, certifications, and operational aspects. Experts from Cochin Shipyard, KSINC, KMRL, L&T, IITs, universities, and private shipyards and design agencies are participating to share their views. The main sponsor of DIMS Light 21 is Cochin Shipyard Limited, while session sponsors are Goa Shipyard, Blazer Marine, Great Waters, SEDS, SNO Maritime, Conceptia, Carmen Consultancy, and MEC Marine Engineers. Now we will go on to the inaugural session. I am privileged to welcome Commander Satish Babu, Vice President Dostas, for the welcome speech.
Very good morning, one and all. Myself, Dr. Satish Babu, PK, from 13th Batch, Department of Ship Technology, and it is my proud privilege to welcome you all to this webinar. Respected Sri Prashant Nair, IAS, Managing Director, Kerala Shipping and Inland Navigation Limited, KSINC, Sri Madhu S. Nair, Chairman and Managing Director, Cochin Shipyard Limited, Dr. A. Madhyalagan, our patron and Head of the Department of Ship Technology, Cochin University, executives of India Boat and Marine Show, Dostas President, Sri Anil Classification Societies, webinar delegates, Dostas committee members, friends from Dostas community, dear teachers, students, sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we have assembled here for the inaugural session of the second edition of DIMS, that is Dostas International Seminar, organized by the Department of Ship Technology Alumni Society, Dostas. The first edition of DIMS was conducted in 2018 and it was a grand success. We are forced to conduct this edition of DIMS through online mode considering the prevailing COVID situation in association with India Boat and Marine Show, IBMS, and we are grateful to IBMS for providing us this platform. We are very happy to note that Dostas members are now occupying several key positions in the international and national organizations and have been contributing to the growth of maritime sector worldwide. The theme of this edition of DIMS is Pleasure Crafts for Waterfront Tourism, Passenger and Good Transportation along Waterways, and Emerging Trends in Design and Market. It is a very relevant topic considering the vast shoreline of India, which stretches over 7,000 kilometers. There is a huge potential in developing and promoting marine and freshwater tourism, apart from transportation of goods and passengers. Our country is also home to widespread network of harbors and inland waterways. The inland watercourses of India comprises of canals, rivers, creeks, and backwaters. We have more than 14,500 kilometers of navigable waterways. We are fortunate that there is a concerted effort from the government and private players to develop this booming sector. There will be immense social and economic benefit to our country in future. Today, we are fortunate that we have Sri Prashant Nair, IAS, Managing Director, KSINC, among us as the chief guest of this webinar. As you know, KSINC is a pioneer of inland navigation in Kerala waterways. It is a Government of Kerala undertaking created by the Union of Kerala Inland Navigation Corporation, that is KINCO, and Kerala Shipping Corporation, KSC. Barge operations are the forte of KSINC. It also owns 2 yards for the construction and maintenance of small vessels. KSINC maintains high standards of excellence in every aspect of building, maintaining, and operating vessels, catering to wide range of customer requirements. And now, KSINC's own cruise vessels, the premier Sagara Rani and exclusive luxury vessels Nefertiti, has come to the center stage. Sri Prashant Nair IAS is well known for his contribution to the social development and administrative initiatives, and it is a privilege that he is here with us as chief guest. On behalf of each and every one of us, let me extend a warm welcome to Sri Prashant Nair IAS to this function. The keynote address will be delivered by Sri Madhu S. Nair, Chairman and Managing Director, Cochin Shipyard Limited, who does not need any introduction. He is always there for Dostas activities in spite of his busy schedule. Sri Madhu S. Nair is a naval architect, and he took over as the Chairman and Managing Director of CSL in January 2016. He has more than 32 years of professional experience with Cochin Shipyard Limited. Under his guidance, CSL has made constant strides and made a mark in the international shipbuilding and repair industry, whether it is for merchant ships or for warships. Under his leadership, Cochin Shipyard became a listed company after a very successful IPO. CSL is also undertaking major expansion projects with amount more than 2,700 crores. At this juncture, it is pertinent to mention that Cochin Shipyard is making foray into inland waterways transport vessel segment by setting up subsidiary company at Kolkata. CSL has forged alliance with major port trusts in India such as Mumbai Port Trust and Kolkata Port Trust. CSL also has established a unit at Port Blair. On behalf of each and every one of us, let me extend a warm welcome to Sri Madhu S. Nair to this function. We also have our patron, Professor Dr. A. Madhyalagan, Head of the Department of Ship Technology, Cochin University of Science and Technology, among us today. And Dr. Madhyalagan has been extending all support to alumni activities from Cochin University side. Sir, let me extend a hearty welcome to you to this function. The whole function is planned and executed as guided by Dostas President, Sri N.T. Anil Das. Let me wholeheartedly welcome you, sir, to this function. We are grateful to executives of India Boat and Marine Show for providing us this platform. Let me welcome all IBMS members to this function. The response to this webinar has been overwhelming, and we are honored to have the presence of several experts from the industry, academic institutions, government organizations, classification societies, private industry, etc. Let me extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you. There will be 3 sessions after the inaugural session, and let me extend a special welcome to all session chairs, speakers, and all delegates to this event. Well, our strength is the contribution from our fellow Dostas members. And I can see a large number of members joined from several parts of the world. Let me extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you. Dostas Executive Committee members have been working hard for several days to stitch together this event. And let me cordially welcome you all to this webinar. We also have a large number of students who have joined, who will benefit immensely from all these 3 sessions. And dear students, all of you are welcome to this event. We are indebted to the constant support from the sponsors, and let me extend a hearty welcome to you all. Well, please pardon me if I have missed out anybody for specially mentioning in this address. Let me once again welcome you all to this webinar, and I hope the sessions will be beneficial to all the attendees. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commander. Next, I invite Professor Madhyaragan, HOD Department of Ship Technology, CUSAT, for the patron's address.
Esteemed members of Dostas, eminent speakers from industries, invited guest, Sri Madhu S. Nair, GMD CSL, Sri Prasad Nair IAS, Mr. Anil Das, President Dostas, Commander Satish Babu, Vice President Dostas, Mr. Joseph, Organizing Committee Member, India Port and Maritime Show. Friends, it gives me immense pleasure to be part of India Port and Maritime Show. I'm really happy to note that webinar DIMS Light 2021 is being organized on this occasion. COVID has given a lot of problems, and we are currently facing challenges in shipbuilding industries and maritime industries. One of the major problems COVID-19 has created is global supply chain. And because of this, economy has been affected. To overcome these problems, we have to go for adopting technologies and digital systems. Some of the technologies are Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and Industry 4.0. By adopting these technologies, we will become more resilient to the future eventualities. So India has a program called Sagarmala. It is a boon for maritime industries, and the people who are working in the maritime industries can make use of this program. Similarly, we have startup missions like Made in India mission, and because of this Make in India, industries have developed new products and services, and these will be displayed in the India Boat and Maritime Show. I hope this will be a great platform for the people who are working in industries. And I'm also happy to note that there are papers from various industries and also institutions, IIT process, and other elected industries, Commander Sali and other eminent people are going to present papers in this webinar series. One of the papers is from a student of Ship Technology Department. We in the department offer consultancy services for boat building industries and shipbuilding industries. And also we have a design solution for the industrial applications. Our students have ventured into startup companies. They are progressing in this line. India has vast coastal line. So the Ministry of Shipping has made a regulation which is very, very stringent nowadays. We have to work with that and progress in this line. We have a lot of scope for inland waterways and connect all major ports by which we can develop our India to the world standard. And this is a high time that we have to start Center for Inland Waterways and Ecotourism. So there is a saying that it is a set of sail, not the direction of wind, will determine the way in which we move forward. So I thank the organizers for having given this opportunity to speak on this occasion. I wish the event grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. Now we have the President's address, for which I invite Shri N.T. Anil Das, President Dostas.
Good morning. Shri Prashant Nair IAS, MD KSINC, our guest of honor. Shri Madhu S. Nair, CMD, CSL, our keynote speaker and a dear alumnus. My fellow members on the committee of Dostas, all the respected members in the audience. Today, we are conducting the DIMS Light webinar, and I would like to give a forward to this. I am Anil Das, CEO and Managing Director of Conceptia and the President of Dostas. For the benefit of everybody, Dostas is the short form of Department of Ship Technology Alumni Society. This society was formed in 2017. The members of this society are those who pass out from the portals of the Department of Ship Technology. Even though it's a small community, its members are placed in various positions in companies around the globe where the naval architecture subject is applied. Our society, Dostas, has been instrumental in bringing together the alumni under one umbrella, even though it took us 42 years to do that. The agenda of Dostas is primarily to build and maintain cordial relations among the alumni and to support the Department of Ship Technology, Cochin University of Science and Technology, to promote the practice of naval architecture and to push the frontiers of this subject to reveal new possibilities. Dostas International Maritime Seminar, abbreviated as DIMS, is a biennial event that was last conducted in 2018. 2020's event is being conducted here today in the webinar format under the name DIMS Light. We are very thankful to Mr. Joseph Kuriakose, the organizer of the India Boat and Marine Show, for agreeing to make DIMS Light as a part of IBMS. It has been a win-win journey so far for both Dostas as well as Cruise Expos. My best wishes for this symbiotic relationship to continue for a long time. This webinar aims to focus on the tourism and pleasure craft and transportation industry and examine its status from close quarters with particular emphasis on design, construction, and certifications. The spread of our country, its many islands, together with its water resources, including inland waterways, gives the opportunity to develop a vibrant waterborne transportation and recreational model. This model is required to be green in nature and at the same time repeatable and scalable to provide employment for thousands of our countrymen. The prosperity this kind of an infrastructure development can bring about for this industry and the country as a whole is both imaginable as well as real. There are multifarious agencies, both government as well as private, who are the players in this industry. The state industrial and financial corporations, Airports Authority of India, the state maritime boards, the Sagarmala Development Company, the Inland Waterways Authority, the educational and research institutions, the private industry, and last but not the least, the entrepreneurs have caused it to develop to a certain stage. The work that has been carried out thus far will be revealed to the audience through 3 panel discussions and deliberations therein. These 3 panels are passenger and goods transport, inland as well as coastal transportation, number 1. Number 2, pleasure crafts and tourism and logistics. And at 3rd, future trends in market and design of small crafts. Each of these panel speakers are guided by the respective panel chairmen who are themselves leaders and people of eminence. I wish to emphasize on 3 points here. While people will come forward to utilize these waterfront facilities and to enjoy waterfront experiences, be it for transportation or afloat dining and partying, or indulge in adventure activities such as diving, the need for making it a safe and enjoyable experience through the use of robust design, construction, certification, and training needs to be emphasized as the single most effort that will keep this industry thriving. Aesthetics in design is another important factor. Aesthetics in naval architecture, unfortunately, it doesn't figure in the design spiral. We cover it up with just the word form. It is a subject that requires deeper discussions and needs emphasis in the naval architectural curriculum. All marine crafts, including the ones that the public uses for transportation or for leisure, needs a personal connect for continued usage given a choice. The electric ferries for KMRL that are designed and built by Cochin Shipyard are very pleasing to the eye. Today, we get to hear more of the design and the operational aspects of these vessels from KMRL. Clean naval architecture and design is the 3rd aspect that I would like to emphasize. As we move away from fossil-based transportation on land, the same is beginning to happen on the water too. An awareness of maintaining our waters clean and a pressing demand to remove all forms of pollutants is a necessity. We have presentations on water taxis that are powered by solar power. Bringing to the audience here are tried and tested concepts of living aboard a vessel and seeing a new scenery of a new place every morning in a presentation by Karina Adventure Tourism. We also shall be learning about the thrill of diving to great depths in a tourist submarine and seeing the dwellers of the deep going about their daily lives. We need to get these facilities here in India rather than go out to other countries to experience it. Under the Sagarmala initiative, the government of India wants port-led industrialization for the development of our country. Shri Dilip Kumar Gupta, the MD of Sagarmala Development Company, will be illuminating the aspects of port-led industrialization and tourism development. Bringing our focus back to the experience part, how about going on a lighthouse tour of India on the live aboard concept? Each lighthouse has a history behind it. What was the need for a lighthouse to come up at that location? For example, Minicoy is the only island in Lakshadweep that has 3 large shipwrecks within the 8-meter depth on the island reef. It is believed that these shipwrecks initiated the need for constructing a lighthouse there in 1885. When you take a journey along the waterfront, be it for leisure, just to relax and chill with your family or a friend, or for a soul-filling pilgrimage visiting holy places along the Ganges or a local waterway, you see the places that you have seen from the land side, from the water side, and that's a different experience. As naval architects, we are responsible for helping to create these experiences from a platform that is safe, stable, and a pleasure to own and operate, and above all, be used by our customers. So make it beautiful, make it functional with an unwavering focus on the experience. I express my sincere gratitude for all the dignitaries and speakers who have made time to participate in this webinar, especially Shri Prashant Nair IAS, MD KSINC, and Shri Madhu S. Nair, an alumni of Dostas and CMD of Cochin Shipyard Limited. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Anildas. Next, we have the address by the guest of honor, Shri Prashant Nair, IAS, Managing Director, KSINC.
Good morning, dear friends. Respected Shri Anildas, President of Dostas, Shri Madhu S. Nair, CMD, CSL, Shri Commodore Satish Babu, Professor Mathiyaragan, HOD Department of Ship Technology, SAT, and Joint Secretary, Dostas, Shri Vijay. Good morning to all of you. I'm so happy to be part of this webinar where we are going to discuss the pleasure craft for waterfront tourism, passenger and goods transportation along waterways, and the emerging trends, and the way we are going to tackle it, or we are going to explore the possibilities in future. We all know that Kerala is flush with opportunities. We have lots of waterways, we have sea frontage, yet all of us do acknowledge the fact that we are not able to make that difference. We haven't been able to fully take hold of that potential. So probably this is an opportunity to introspect and also find out ways how to take this ahead. Speaking of pleasure crafts and small crafts, first of all, we have the manufacturing capacity here in Kerala. It provides for job opportunity basically. You have job opportunity for designers, for engineers, for craftsmen, for all sort of possibilities. Apart from the business opportunity that comes out of its operation, tourism. Tourism, all of us know, has a big multiplier effect. For every single dollar you invest, you get multitude of job opportunities created. So, understanding the larger potential of this particular sector is very important to give focus, to give priority for this. Instead of investing in somewhere else where the returns are marginal, even the social return that is expected is marginal. Here you find much better returns. In Kerala we have lots of inland channels and canals and all that, and yet we hear a lot of talk about it. We hear people saying that we should transport cargo, we should transport people. It's a cheaper opportunity. These are all things we keep saying, but nothing happens. Most people don't understand that these channels, it's like a road, fine. But if you have a bad road, if the road is not well maintained, a bus or a car can still go across it. They can go slower perhaps. There is possibility of slight accident, but then of course they can slow down and still make the travel. They can continue with the journey. But unfortunately, in an inland channel, if you don't have sufficient depth, if it's not maintained well, if it's unpredictable, what's under the water we really don't know, it means that it could damage the vessel. So essentially, if the channel is not well maintained, your travel, your voyage ends there, and the end could be pretty sad. So it requires annual maintenance, if not regular maintenance. I mean, there is a bit of investment that has to be seen, and because this is something that's happening under the water, people probably don't understand that it has to be maintained or it has to be done regularly. You have to prioritize. And then, speaking of inland navigation, again we have to shift focus from larger vessels to smaller vessels. That again is a huge opportunity where FRP vessels are coming in a big way. We have been doing a lot of business in steel and aluminium hulls, but now I think the times have changed. Better technology, better material. There are lots of options available, and we in KSINC also we are moving big time into FRP manufacturing through partnerships. We have lots of tie-ups being made with good industry partners to make this happen. Also, the opportunity for marina, you have yachts coming in. That's another really good potential where we are planning to take over the marina, which is by the KTDC near Bongati. That's also something which we are planning to take over operation and invest a bit there. Because I think there is a lot of collateral income that's possible from such activities. It's not just boating. You essentially have to sell an experience. Just as we are selling the experience on Nefertiti. Nefertiti being a luxury cruise liner ship where it's basically even ship. People ask, how do you travel? Where are you traveling on Nefertiti? Where do you go from Kochi? You go and come back to Kochi. It's not a travel, it's an experience that we are selling. Now in leisure crafts, in this tourism perspective, you have to understand that you are not selling a mere travel, you are selling an experience. So how to make the experience as creative as possible is the big question. That is where options like seaplane also come in. It is an experience. It's not merely traveling. So don't always compare the travel fare, which you might be incurring on a regular flight or a train, and then say, see, I could have traveled at this rate. Why should I take a seaplane, or why should I take a yacht? Why should I take a cruise liner? These are options which we give people who have the expending capacity, and then you sell them an experience rather than a mere travel. So I think we need to think innovatively about creating these experiences and also maintaining our waterways, how to find funds for that. I told you regular cleaning is required. When a public road gets damaged, people around the vicinity, they make a hue and cry. There will be lots of people who talk about it. There will be newspaper reports, and immediately there is some effort from the authorities to clean up the road, to repair the damaged road. But when a canal gets congested, when there is a bit of encroachment, or if there is no dredging has been done, if there is silting, or there is not sufficient water draft, who makes a hue and cry? Nobody even knows about it. It's only the vessel or the persons who fly the vessel who know that. So you need to find funds for this, even without a public outrage. It should happen regularly. Is there possibility for funding it from CSR? Those are things which we need to explore. How to find out innovative solution for that. And finally, of course, we need to have lots of ties with educational institutions to make all this happen, because it's a cultural thing as well. All those students, all those people who are coming into the sector, they need to be, they need to imbibe these ideologies basically. It's not just about getting a job and moving on in life, getting a certificate and moving on in life somewhere else outside India. it's also giving back to the society, giving back to the sector here in India, in Kerala. Making use of all the innovative stuff that the government is also doing, including Sagarmala. These are all schemes and plans available. How to integrate that beautifully and reasonably to make an impact is the question. I think today during this discussion we'll hopefully get some insights. We'll hopefully get some solutions for that. And I really do appreciate the Alumni Society for taking up this initiative and making such a forum at least so that people talk about it. And let's hope that there is some reasonable outcome after all this discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nair. I invite Shri Elias George, IAS, former Managing Director, KMRL, to facilitate Mr. Madhu S. Nair, Chairman and Managing Director, Cochin Shipyard Limited.
I've had the opportunity to work very closely with Madhu over the last couple of years as a director on the board of Cochin Shipyard. And I've been watching how well he's been managing that company. Cochin Shipyard has acquired a renown not just as one of the most professionally managed public sector companies in India, but also on the shipbuilding map of the world. In government circles, Cochin Shipyard is known to be one of the most honest firms with a very high level of integrity. And I'd attribute a large part of that reputation to the leadership culture that Madhu's been able to foster in the firm. As Satya Nadella says, a good CEO is a curator of cultures. And I've seen the way Madhu manages his senior team, as well as how he inspires every single workman in that company. It's a great leadership lesson to all. So really, Madhu stands out among the pantheon of India's CEOs, not just for the professional excellence and the deft touch that he brings to the job, but also in terms of his personal leadership styles, which is very inspiring, but also very modest, as those of you who know Madhu will testify. All told, Madhu is a great leader, a great manager, and most of all, a very decent human being and a thorough gentleman. It's been a pleasure to know Madhu. When I drive past Cochin Shipyard and I see the indigenous aircraft carried.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Shri Madhu S. Nair, Chairman and Managing Director of Cochin Shipyard Limited, to deliver the keynote address. Shri Madhu S. Nair took over as the Chairman and Managing Director of Cochin Shipyard Limited on January 1st, 2016. He holds a degree of Bachelor of Technology from CUSAT and Masters in Engineering from Osaka University, Japan. He has more than 32 years of professional experience with Cochin Shipyard Limited since joining as executive trainee in June 1988 in the entire gamut of shipyard management. He was a key driver in forging alliances with international technology partners. He was also instrumental in conceptualizing the small ship division and key player in valuing international contracts while he was heading the marketing division. Under his leadership, Cochin Shipyard Limited became a listed company after a very successful initial public offer. During his tenure, Cochin Shipyard Limited is undertaking two major expansion projects worth Rs 2,769 crores. Also, Cochin Shipyard Limited is making foray into the inland waterways transport vessel segment by setting up subsidiary company at Kolkata. I hereby invite Shri Madhu S. Nair to deliver the keynote address.
I'm extremely happy to note that Dostas is conducting the Dostas webinar, this time as a webinar, along with the India Boat and Marine Show. Like Dostas has been conducting the global seminar, but this time due to the times we are living in, I can see that there is a webinar. But first of all, congratulations to Dostas that you're not letting it go even during the pandemic. Again, extremely gratifying to note that the theme this time covers all sorts of near-shore boat and yacht requirements. I'm understanding that you're concentrating on the waterfront tourism, passenger and goods transport and the emerging trends. I feel this is the most apt time to actually discuss these subjects. I've been personally involved in what the Ministry of Shipping with the Government of India is trying to create. Today we are creating a grand all-encompassing maritime space vision for 2030. It's called the Maritime India Vision 2030 document. I'm not in a position to probably share great details on it because it's still in the making, and at the level of the Honorable Prime Minister, one round of presentation has been made on the ports side, but shipping and inland waterways. You're well aware that the Ministry of Shipping has been renamed as the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. This is actually to give it the right impetus. So, certain of the themes that is being very clearly discussed and how to take things forward. One is this large emerging area of urban water mobility. So we have in this country, like with our population, with the needs that's coming in, urban transport systems will play a very major role into the future. And when we are talking about urban transport systems, urban water transport systems will also play a very major role. And right now in the city where we are living in, Kochi has taken the lead. I'm extremely happy that we can all take pride that Kochi has become the first city in India to have a unified urban transport authority. Larger things are happening within the country. River transportation, both on the Ganga, National Waterway number 1, Brahmaputra, National Waterway number 2, our own waterways, which is NW3. So in Ganga, the plans have been expanded. It started off with a Jal Marg Vikas program, and today we are calling it the Earth Ganga project. There is something similar, an Earth Brahmaputra project coming up in the Brahmaputra, which will connect all the way into the northeastern states, the Bangladesh protocol routes into Bangladesh, and trade with Nepal, also with neighboring Myanmar. So there's a lot happening on that side. In Kerala, we are talking about, I should use the word atrociously ambitious idea, but Kerala has shown the lead in many things. Just like the Cochin Water Metro, I'm sure that the connectivity all the way from Kasaragod to Thiruvananthapuram will actually become a reality, because I'm sure that the people holding this will take things forward. One thing which probably today when we are doing this webinar we need to be very clear is when we are talking about India, you would have heard this jargon when people talk about India and Bharat. So there are the subtle thought process. There are two Indias. When we are talking about India, we are talking about the urban and the semi-urban India. And when we are talking about Bharat, we are talking about a part of the semi-urban Bharat and the rural India. Now we need different thought processes and different solutions for both India and for Bharat. And the heart would be with Bharat, and technological solutions and the money part or the glamorous part maybe with the urban areas. But I think we need to strike a fine balance with both these. Urban water transport systems amongst the best in class in the world, like the Cochin Water Metro, will come in many other parts in India. I'm sure you will see much more happening on the east coast and west coast of Mumbai. We'll see things happening on the coast and the Kutch in Gujarat. We could see things happening off the coast of Goa, various areas in Bangalore, our own Kerala, coastal transportation. So these are all very exciting times that's happening. In the waters, in the rivers, we'll have to really look at the rural India, because now we are talking about river transportation, we are talking about river crossings, ro-ro vessels, ro-pax vessels. Very exciting opportunity for inland river cruises, because people have not really seen and understood India. We can, there are few cruise vessels in the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, and they are doing exceedingly well. But I think this is a potential which is really waiting to be explored. And we as technologists, we need to understand that it's not one solution fits all. Again, we need to think outside products and outside boats and vessels. We need to think about larger solutions. Exciting initiative in Atmanirbhar Bharat. We are all aware, we had the Make in India, we had the Make in India 1, we had the Make in India version 2, which had much more impetus. But suddenly, like when we saw a neighboring country turning a little bit aggressive, the Indian pride came to the fore, and the Honorable Prime Minister has given the clarion call for Atmanirbhar Bharat. So it's not about the government or the government entities or the public sector alone, but the private sector has taken Atmanirbhar Bharat to heart, and this I think would be one of the greatest initiatives that will actually make things happen in our waterways and in our transportation systems. We are very happy to report that we are part of this exciting journey today with Cochin Metro, Cochin Water Metro. We are building 23 absolutely state-of-the-art vessels based on hybrid electric systems. The electric batteries are a new chemistry called the LTO batteries. There's a significant part of stakeholders involved in here. As we move forward, we'll take this much more stronger. Autonomous vessels and autonomy. Autonomous vessels can be at various levels, level 1 to level 5 of autonomy. But let's be clear that autonomy is here and autonomy will come in. There are people, at least a few of them, who say that probably autonomy may not be needed for a country like India, where we have abundant people and employment is one major aspect. I do agree, and that's a particular point which we need to address as compared to what is autonomy and how the West understands it. But autonomy would be needed from a purely technology point of view. There would be certain things which only autonomy would be able to do. So these are exciting times. CSL has been extremely happy that we are doing 2 autonomous vessels, which will be when delivered and operational in Norway about 2 years down the line, would be among the first autonomous vessels in the world. So again, this time for belief that we can actually do things in this country. It's not that we should always be followers. We can actually do things first time in the world. There are vessels which are running on alternate fuels being tried out. Renewable energy is come in a big way. We are trying vessels with renewable energy. There are possibilities being opened up. CSL has shown the way, and we feel that this way will be taken up by many others. For the first time after independence, this country is having engineered fishing vessels at cost affordable to Bharat, and we take pride in this. Fully engineered vessels designed by naval architects, tested in places like IIT Kharagpur, involving the Central Institute of Fisheries Technology, EMPEDA, and various other stakeholders like the Mahindra and the Leyland engineering centers. We are taking things forward. Areas I understand which will be discussed during this webinar about underwater autonomous vessels, exciting themes being discussed. I'm also very happy to note that there is a theme being covered under Sagarmala, very important aspect, because now we are talking about port-led development, and what Sagarmala, and today the people heading Sagarmala, they actually moved an extra step. They actually here, they are coming and saying that we could even fund proposals to take port-led initiatives and water transport systems forward. So all in all, a very appropriate theme and appropriate time to discuss these subjects. I wish the webinar all the best. As somebody who has taken a great connect with the Department of Ship Technology in Cochin University of Science and Technology, I wish Cochin University of Science and Technology all the very best. I wish Dostas will continue the good work that is happening right now, and we won't let things down. On behalf of Cochin Shipyard and on my personal behalf, let me wish the webinar all the best. Let's all have excellent discussions. I will also be part of some of these discussions as we move forward. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Nair. Now I invite Professor Madhi Aragan and Dr. Shiva Prasad from Department of Ship Technology, CUSAT, to honor Mr. Madhu Nair with a Ponnada and memento on behalf of Dostas.
University of Science and Technology, and also from the Dostas, I offer this Ponnada to.
Thanks a lot.
Yes.
We are very happy to say that Madhu S. Nair is a product of Department of Ship Technology, and he is going to head the biggest shipyard in India, Cochin Shipyard Limited, for next 5 years as a token of respect from Cochin Boat Show organizers and Dostas. I present this.
Thanks a lot, Shiv. Thank you.
Finally, I invite Shri Vijay S., Joint Secretary of Dostas, to give the vote of thanks.
A very good morning to everyone. On behalf of Dostas and its organizing committee, I feel immense pleasure and pride to propose the vote of thanks to all the attendees, speakers, and panel chairmen of DIMS Light 2021. We have passed more than 1 whole year of pandemic, and has been the norm recently, almost all interactions have shifted to the online mode. In such a scenario, this year's virtual expo, India Boat and Marine Show 2021, is an ideal platform for us to host the online version of the second edition of DIMS. Thank you, Mr. Joseph of Cruise Expo, for making DIMS part of this year's IBMS 2021. I would like to thank the Managing Director of Kerala Shipping and Inland Navigation Corporation Limited, Sri Prashant Nair IAS, for joining us today as our guest of honor and be part of this event. Sir, your presence and support provides much confidence among the Indian boat and marine community. Let me express my sincere gratitude and thanks to Sri Madhu S. Nair, Chairman and Managing Director of Cochin Shipyard Limited, for delivering the keynote address. Sir, your presence today with us has made this event enriched and lively. Thank you. I would like to acknowledge the efforts of my co-members of the organizing committee, Mr. Praveen Jacob, Mr. Soni TL, Mr. Anish Kumar, Captain Jayshankar, Mr. Girish GN, our Vice President Dr. Sadish Babu, and our President and Captain of the ship, Sri Anil Das, for giving shape to today's program. My wholehearted thanks to the panel chairmen and speakers for accepting our invite and coming forward to become part of DIMS Light. Thank you. Thank you for your valuable participation and support. Looking forward to having fruitful and engaging sessions. Thank you, one and all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. That brings us to the end of the inaugural session. We now go into the technical sessions, and we'd like to acknowledge our main sponsors. The main sponsor of DIMS Light 21 is Cochin Shipyard Limited, while session sponsors are Goa Shipyard, Blazer Marine, Great Waters, SEDS, SNO Maritime, Conceptia, Carmen Consultancy, and MEC Marine Engineers. Now we have a video from our sponsors.